Hello there, Ray here, and the latest Snapshot 18W19A is out, and with it comes some new features as well as a ton of bug fixes. And with some of those bug fixes are some major changes to the game, so stay tuned. I now added it so that all undead mobs will sink in the water just as the zombies do, although I did notice that zombie horses don't sink, and neither do withers. If I just summon in a wither here, you see that he can go around and do whatever he wants to do. And yeah, he can float up as well. So I guess that's not quite all of them. And also notice that you can make these baby horses. So there's adult. If you click on adult, you can make a baby variation. Yeah, look at these guys. They're so small. And phantoms are also considered undead, but they don't really sink in the water. And all these undead mobs that are underneath the water don't take any damage from being underneath here. And I guess it kind of makes sense because of them being undead. They really don't breathe to start with. Skeleton horses are supposed to be now be able to be ridden underneath the water, although it seems broken because I can't even ride them on land nor water. Seagrass can now generate in underwater caves, as you can see here, so it doesn't even need to have access to the surface. They changed the texture of the sea turtle egg, and now it looks more like an actual egg, although when you place it down, it doesn't summon in a mob like the other eggs. It also shows up in your offhand, unlike the previous one. They added a new sound to the beacon. It kind of sounds like some kind of sci-fi reactor. They also added a new sound for the conduit power. Kind of sounds like an underwater heartbeat. They also added some more moves to the Phantom, so they can make more deviations, which make it look more natural. They also added now so you can easily copy down the seed, so if we do /seed, you see the seed comes up and this green text, and we click on it, it will place it down here. Then all we do is highlight it, like Control A, then we can Control C to copy it, and then we can paste it. This makes it really easy to give your seed out to other players so they know exactly what world you're playing in. If you're near a dolphin and you are swimming, so if I go underneath the water and I start to swim, and you get near this dolphin, you see I get a new type of effect, and this effect is called Dolphin's Grace. It allows you to be able to swim faster underneath the water. You see these dolphins are having fun with it. The Dolphin's Grace effect only lasts for 4 seconds, but every time you're close to dolphins, it will renew itself. This means that the Dolphin's Grace is another advancement that has to be added to the How Do We Get Here, which is a advancement for having every single type of effect applied to you at the same time. Maps are currently broken in the snapshot. I'm holding a map and you can't really see it. Sometimes it'll flicker on the bottom of the screen. If I put it in my offhand, you can't see it either. If I open up a chest, you can see it pops up on the side. But these buried treasure maps that you can get from chests, such as from shipwrecks as well as underwater ruins, will lead you to the treasure chests. And those treasure chests have a chance of giving you the heart of the sea. Let's go see if we can find one. It's funny, as chunks load in, the map will try to show itself. So here's one of the buried treasure. It's hidden very well. And let's go ahead and uncover it and see what we got. Right there, we got a heart of a sea. Now, if you don't know, this is used to make the conduit. They changed the wording for the biome, so like here, we are in extreme hills with trees, as it says up here. This is where I'm looking at, biome type Minecraft extreme hills with trees. So now we've got lowercase lettering as well as underscore. Here you can see this one's just called extreme hills. Now they also changed some of the buffet world options. So here you can see we can generate as surface, caves, floating islands, and then back to surface again. And we also seen that in-game, the name was changed a little bit, but here in the screen, you can see this has changed as well. So something like mountains is extreme hills, and you can see some other strange names that changed, like snowy mountains, snowy tundra, mushroom fields, that's like your mushroom biomes. A lot of crazy ones like wooded hills, jungle hills, and edge, and snowy beaches. A lot of crazy ones. If we go down further, there's your giant tree taiga, and dark forest, that'd be like your root forest. And they got badlands, which would be like your mesa. So a lot of crazy names they have changed these to. We go down even further, you can see at the very mutant ones, got some pretty weird names such as Gravely Mountains, Shattered Savannah, and even Eroded Badlands. But in game, you can see over on the top left-hand corner, something like a Savannah Plateau is now called Savannah Rock, which is kind of funny. And if we go over here to the Mesa, you can see that the Mesa looks fine, but now this top plateau part is called Mesa Rock. Here's a mineshaft structure that is generated in a desert and actually started over here in the mesa. You can see this is where the mineshaft started, is with this big huge block of dirt, and then it extends outward and just happened to go into side of a desert, so it looks pretty funny. They did a ton of bug fixings with the snapshot, but I'll just go over some of the more noticeable ones that you can see in survival. Such as you can now have the sheep that are named Jeb change colors. Also notice that when you switch to items in your hotbar, if you switch to a name tag, it will stay up there forever, so notice that the name that comes with the name tag doesn't go down. When you normally switch to the item, it stays up for a little bit and then it vanishes, but with the named name tag, it doesn't. You know, fix it so you can shift click multiple items into a furnace, so you can put in the coal as well as the food. They fixed it where the trees were generating side by side. I showed this like one of my first snapshot review videos about 1.13 snapshot. It was kind of strange. We called them twin trees, I believe, at the time, but yeah, they fixed it. They changed the icon for this tab here, which shows the ores as well as fuels, although they don't show all fuels because something like fences or ladders can be used as fuel and they don't show up in here. They fixed it so trees will no longer generate through villager houses, something I showed some screenshots of on our Discord channel. If you would like to check out our Discord channel, this is where the ProTech members all hang out. And also there is the Technical Minecraft Discord. You can find both those links down in the description. They fixed autocomplete for commands, so if I type in summon, if I try to summon a turtle, you see it will say turtle, and it won't have the option for exclamation turtle, which is everything except for a turtle. Jungles are no longer extremely dense, as I showed in my very first snapshot video, and I thought this was actually kind of a cool change, but I guess it looks kind of nice this way as well. Fishing drops will now come towards the player. XP ores will now float up in the water. This is a cool underwater ravine that cuts right through this island and leaves this little patch of grass above it. Too high seagrass will no longer be able to destroy the ocean monument by generating inside of it. I also noticed that ocean monuments are considerably more rare. I don't know if that's just because of the different ocean biomes now. Phantoms being able to spawn inside of blocks that they collide with. This means my phantom farm no longer will work in this version. Pufferfish will no longer attack a player that's in spectating mode or puff up for them. Salmon on ground now have their hitbox more related to their image. Cod used to take damage when they would float upwards and come in contact with a solid block above them. Now other mobs can also get poisoned from the pufferfish, not just players. Turtles being able to lay eggs in locations that they can't reach. This means my turtle farm will need to have some adjustments. They fix it so now that the bubble columns will be able to occur on every block of soul sand, I believe magma blocks as well, instead of every other block. This is a really big change, and this will make a lot of farms a lot more easier to do. But that is a lot of particles, around 8,000 particles. Renaming the clownfish to tropical fish. They fix it so shulkers will now convert into this color when upgraded and not this color. They fix it so you can no longer be able to ride these floating boats underneath the water, and the way that you can make these is by placing a boat down far off in the distance while your player is moving. This is actually something that has been around in 1.12. I showed this really long time ago actually, like almost 2 years ago, but nobody really noticed it. But yeah, if you click really far away off your screen, then you can put down these boats, but you can no longer ride them. They fixed it so that when zombies convert over to drowns, there's no longer a 100% chance that they will drop their armor. They also changed it so that the drowns that do get converted from zombies will no longer have a chance of having a trident in their hand or a nautilus shell. They fixed it so now that waterlogged blocks can be placed beside these water columns and not destroy them. They fixed it so that sea pickles will no longer get glitched when you place down the fourth one. So you can see I'm currently at 0.375 height, and I place on the fourth one, it will lift the player upwards. They fixed the phantom spawn egg color, so now it more represents the phantom's color itself, something I talked about in my previous snapshot video. Dolphins will now try to pathfind towards the water if they are on land, unlike before. They fixed it so drowning dolphins will now try to pathfind to the surface, something I noticed in the very first snapshot with dolphins. Flowing water over top of magma blocks will no longer turn into bubble columns and therefore no longer turn into water sources. Turtle eggs collision blocks will change the more you add to it, as you can see here, and I add another one, it gets bigger, and then all the rest afterwards stay the same. The same bug with the maps seems to be occurring with enchanted pickaxes as well as ones with durability, but they also came in and changed out how fast the player can mine up this new blue ice, as before it was like really slow, but you can see now it's pretty fast. And I can't really test it with efficiency because of the messed up bug, but I'm guessing with efficiency 5 you could probably instant mine it. There was a lot of changes with this 1.13 snapshot, and a lot of these I have been talking about for quite a while, and it's nice to see them fix some of these. And also with some of these changes means that we have to redesign a lot of our farms, so I will have a lot of fun trying to figure out new ways to build up some of my older farms for the 1.13 snapshot. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because if you did, show me with a like and share this with others. If you'd like to see more content about the 1.13 snapshot and farms that I built with it, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell button, and down in the comments, tell me what you think of all the different changes that came out with this snapshot. Bye-bye!